Hey, what's up, everybody? I figured, in light of the upcoming, 40th anniversary Halloween, movie coming up, which serves as a direct sequel to the, 78 version. So I figured, before seeing the 40th anniversary film, I figured, it'd be interesting to finally talk about what I thought of, the 78 classic version. I know for people that do know, of course, the basic story, follows the 6-year-old Michael Myers, 1963, who kills his sister Judith Myers in cold blood. And even though the film doesn't really give much explanation as to why he committed a crime, other than what his psychiatrist Luma would say, that Michael was pretty much the face of evil and all that. And then of course throughout the story, which takes place 15 years later in 1978, Michael escapes from the Smith Haven Grove Sanitarium where he was held, prisoner, knowing that Loomis is what he would describe Michael as evil on two legs. And of course, he escapes and heads to his hometown of Haddonfield. And then, of course, the film introduces us to Laurie Strode, played by, Jamie Lee Curtis in her film debut. And of course, many people know she's the daughter of Janet Leigh, who starred as Marion Crane in the Psycho movie. Sorry, and of course, Laurie and her friends Annie and Linda, end up doing their usual thing, babysitting and having their girls' night, thing and stuff like that. Little do they know that they're being followed, by Michael, who's also often given the nickname in the movie, the Shape, and then of course he stalks, and of course, does what Michael, does, and of course, Loomis, being that, knowing that, Michael is a pure embodiment of evil, tries his best, to stop him from, committing his rampage, and of course, where that leads. So, in terms of what I think of the '78 version, it still remains my favorite, out of all the movies that they've done. Yeah, I mean, even though some of the sequels, were better than others, I'll just say, in my personal opinion, my favorite ones are the first, two, the fourth one, and H2O. That, but I know some other people, might, you know, think differently, and have even, although the sequels kind of tried, to explain, Michael's origins and why he was evil, but I guess a lot of people, like the first one because one, it's a classic. Two, it doesn't like, really you know, give a real reason as to why Michael's evil, but it's more like a mystery, and of course that's what makes his character really scary and, I guess rather fascinating at the same time, since you know there is no real explanation for why though he is the way that he is, other than like Loomis said, he's evil, and then of course what makes the movie really great is of course Jamie Lee Curtis, does a really awesome job playing the likable book shy Laurie Strode, who loves babysitting and shy when it comes to boys and things like that. So like I said, it still remains the Halloween '78 version still remains a classic and still one of my more favorite horror movies of this day. Behind Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's that. Okay, everyone. Thanks again for watching. And of course, I look forward to sharing my thoughts on what I thought about the 2018, version, which of course, will serve as yet another alternate timeline, like I said previously, which will, ignore, the sequels and be a direct sequel to the '78 version. So look forward to sharing what I think about that when the time is right. Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching. Good night.